Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next regular meeting is scheduled for Friday, February the 10th, 2017 at 9 a.m. at the Community Center, 3500 Edgewater Drive, Sebring, Florida. Please silence your cell phones or turn them off if you haven't already. First item on the agenda today is the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any comments from the board? Any public comment? Chrissy, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor McCullough?
Yes.
Supervisor Gilpin?
Yes.
Supervisor Camp?
Yes.
Supervisor Edgell?
Yes.
President White?
Yes. Okay, I need a motion to recess to conduct the landowners meeting.
Motion to recess.
Second.
Okay. I don't think we have to vote on that.
No, just recess.
The meeting is recessed. You gentlemen need to go find a seat.
You want somebody to nominate?
Huh?
You want to nominate?
I'll get that in a minute.
Okay.
I call the Sun and Lake landowners meeting to order. Need the acknowledgement of a quorum. As I understand it, we do have a quorum. The first item on the agenda is a nomination of a chairman for the Landowners Association. Do I have a motion for a chairman?
I'd like to nominate Gene Gangemi.
Okay, do I hear a second? I got a second? Any other nominations? Okay, all in favor? Raise your right hand. Gene? There he is. I'll turn this over to you.
Good morning. Thank you, President White. It's a pleasure to see so many people here today. It really shows that you care about your community. The first order of business is to nominate landowner secretary. Do I hear any nominations for a landowner secretary?
I would nominate Chrissy.
Do we have a second?
I'll second, sir.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Nominations are closed. Chrissy, congratulations. Okay. Next item is the approval of minutes of the landowners meeting held January 22nd, 2016. Madam General Manager, please highlight the minutes of January 26th for the landowners meeting. Do we have a motion to have Ms. Candidate read the minutes? Second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Madam General Manager, go ahead.
Tanya Kennedy, General Manager. Last year, I presented an annual report on behalf of the Board of Supervisors. I mentioned many highlights and accomplishments for 2015. Those being listed in the minutes: completion of the Deer Run Golf Course Path Project, new tennis and pickleball courts, Paving of 2.5 miles of roads, increase of water utility base rates from $2.50 per month to $7.75 per month. Golf rate increase of 3%. So I just mentioned some of the highlights of 2015. Our golf and restaurant operations continue to perform very well financially. And let's see, instead of reading verbatim, I'll just mention a couple other things. Last summer, was our second year of the Sun and Lake Kids Club camps. We brought in about $17,000 of revenue with 246 campers over an 8-week period. The amenities here, we continue to provide a service, to the residents of Sun and Lake District. And, I appreciate the opportunity to serve the landowners. And we did have a few comments from the landowners here regarding Torrega Street. And let's see if there's anything else. We talked about roads and drainage mainly at the last meeting.
Okay. Are there any questions, additions, general comments? If not, let's call for a motion to accept.
Motion to accept.
Mr. Hurlbut, motion to accept.
Motion to accept. Second.
Okay. All right, thank you. None, if there aren't any, please show by a roll call of hands to accept. Okay. Minutes of the previous meetings have been accepted. Do we have any unfinished business? None. Do we have any new business? None. Well, at this time, seeing that the meeting is going this way, we call for a motion to adjourn.
Well,
I'm
I
sorry.
need to.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Ganjimi, number 6 on the agenda. I'd like to give
sorry.
an annual report. Okay.
Mr. Heck, I have to hold you up 1 second. I missed one spot.
Okay.
The annual report by Madam General Manager. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Back in May of 2016, there was a survey performed regarding the electoral makeup of the Sun and Lake District. The survey asked if any residents were in favor of changing from currently we have 3 popular elected seats and 2 landowner elected seats. The survey asked if anyone is in favor of 4 popular seats and 1 landowner elected seat, or if you prefer 5 popular elected seats. We had 125 people that participated in the survey, and the survey results were 55 people were in favor of no change at all, 15 people were in favor of 4 popular elected seats and 1 landowner seat, and 55 people were in favor of all popular elected seats in the district. The board took into consideration the results, Board of Supervisors, and there was no action taken on the survey.
Okay. Is there any questions on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Joe Eck for the records. These surveys that they put out there, why isn't the whole general public ever been notified on them? You had a survey go out on that, what you read there. You have a survey going out now, the only thing we see is something in that newspaper, it comes in the water bill. But I don't know nothing about it. I don't take the paper. I don't read the paper anymore. But I think that everybody, including the people in Unit 2, which is always left behind, needs to be brought up to date with what's going on. And the point I was going to bring up, Jimmy, was how come they don't have something on here that's comments from the audience? You know, I think before at the landowners meeting, they always had a space in there where they made comments from the audience. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a
Yes.
few other things I'd like to mention as far as my report before we move
Yes,
on
please.
to comment. I wanted to thank the Board of Supervisors for their commitment to better Sun and Lake and engaging me to assist them in achieving their vision for this community and its residents. Second, I want to thank the district's committed and talented team, along with their accomplishments that you'll find in the following pages of this report. When I joined the district in 2011, we were a financially strong district with a new clubhouse, a new recreation complex, and moving in a direction of modern and improved amenities for this community. In 2011, we faced the challenge of stagnant economic growth, development, and revenues. Today, we want to create an atmosphere ripe for commercial and residential growth. Lifestyle is the key to attracting residents and businesses. 2016 has seen great accomplishments, which brought into focus golf course conditions, a need for essential maintenance to our aging infrastructure, a commitment to establish a drainage maintenance program, and the installation of our new and improved signage throughout the district. The district's recreational amenities bring togetherness within our community, as Deer Run and Turtle Run golf courses remain the focal point of our district. Our recreational activities offer memberships and daily fees to participate in golf, racket club activities, pool, and fitness. For 2016, the average membership count was 330 for golf, 300 members for racket club, 780 members for our pool, and 300 for our fitness center. Billy Casper Golf employs an average of 80 staff members to operate and manage the golf courses and the restaurant operations. The district employs an average of 48 staff members to operate all the other services in the district. The district's strategic plan for marketing this community and its amenities has been a priority. We want to continue to involve more residents in activities as well as promote the district through a number of venues, including our free golf membership program established in 2016. The launch of our new website in February 2016 has allowed us to better serve the public. Other notable services popular with our residents are the Security Watch Order Program and our Lost Animal Program, funded by donations, which has found homes for 35 animals during the year. These programs provide a safer environment for our community. And by the way, I was a foster parent for one night. Assessment rates have remained the same for the last 8 years. Utility and golf rates increased slightly from 2015, and the district's financial condition remains strong. Operational revenues continue to perform well, with maintenance costs rising. The district's finance department administered a $13 million budget with no debt service. 10% of the budget included a new maintenance facility, with construction breaking ground in December. This report provides me an opportunity to communicate with the residents, and I want to thank everyone for coming here to participate in this meeting.
Thank you so much. We have one other.
Yes, I'm Debbie Buckingham, and I'm one of the residents on Torrega Street. And the question, I don't know where I'm at here with the agenda, but I don't know if it's under unfinished business. I know that there was correspondence that was mailed to all the residents, from my understanding, on Torrega Street. And I would imagine at this point you have had an opportunity to collate that information. And can you give me an updated status as to what the results were of that status?
Yes, we'll be sending a letter out to the residents next week, but we have an overwhelming response of no. We only had one resident that agreed to the project on Torrega Street. So we will not be moving forward with any reconstruction of the drainage.
So that means that everything's going to stay exactly the way it is?
Yes, ma'am.
With the drainage?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions from the audience?
Yes, I'm Jim Van Horn, live down in Matanzas, just newly purchased this past summer. And I understand that they're planning to enclose the drainage ditch that parallels Matanzas behind the residences. And I'm just curious to know if there's any possibility that the people doing this could come out and mark the easement so we know where to move our sprinkler systems at, any shrubbery, and so we don't have to move it twice.
I have been meeting with the residents of that, of Matanzas, and we will be coming out. But if you want to meet with me, any day of the week, I'll come up and meet with you and explain to you what we're doing and where you have to move the, your fence or your drainage or anything you want to do.
Yeah, for me personally, it's just the sprinkler system, but the neighbors we've been having,
There are too many houses on there that have to move too much. And it's not as bad as we thought anyways.
well, good. You said there's a meeting that you're
I've been
having?
meeting with the residents. I think I met with about 12 already on this.
Okay, I never got a notification of a meeting, but,
No, he's meeting with people individually, as they
Oh,
call
okay.
him, yeah. Yeah, we sent out letters to the homeowners and landowners on Matanzas and Granada.
never got one.
Okay,
6830 Matanzas,
you write that down.
Van Horn.
I got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Fraley, Hampton Woods. There's been talk among our association that we maintain our own road, and being that we pay the same assessment as every other resident in the community, we have been seeking for the Sun and Lakes Improvement District to take over the maintenance of our road as well. Would there be any status known on that issue?
It was brought to my attention maybe 9 months ago that there had been some discussions about that. Maybe David can give us a little bit more about the inside of taking over a private road. I believe, I'd have to research it, but I believe we did, there was a petition to the Board of Supervisors, maybe in April or May. I'm not sure. I'd have to research it. And the board did not take any action on the information. I don't recall, did it come from you, maybe to the board? I don't know if it was the president of the...
It was probably.
It was the president?
Probably.
Okay, I'd have to research it.
Okay.
But no, the board did not take any action on it. But David, maybe he can provide us a little insight on
Yeah,
that.
part of the issue with that road is that it's not built to county standards, and in order for the district to take it over, we'd have to vacate. Currently, it's platted as a private road, and so that portion of the plat would have to be vacated. And with the board, it being brought to the board's attention, the board taking no action, there's really no reason there was no reason at the time, still no reason for us to pursue anything. If that's still a desire of the Hampton Woods HOA, then you need to put something together more formally, and maybe we can get brought to the board for an actual formal vote. But I think my recollection, we have to go back and check the minutes, but my recollection is there was just no action taken.
And then one thing I noticed this morning, I walked here not knowing if there were bike racks to lock up my bike, and I didn't see any on the grounds. Is there bike racks here?
It's on the other side.
On the other side, okay, very good. And then one further comment, the golf courses this year, we've owned here since our deal closed in 2012. And each year we see a tremendous improvement in the golf courses. This year in particular, we've played other courses in the area this season, and by far, deer and turtle are outstanding as far as conditions go. And we as snowbirds sure appreciate that. Although they are playing golf back home, but it's pretty chilly. Thank you.
My name is Bob Shaw of Nita Street. I'd just like to make a comment on the drainage the back of between Matanzas and Nita. Just to put the gentleman's mind at rest, a few of the homeowners met with Mike, and we appreciated his visit just this week. The one thing I would like to say is that Mike and his team were very, very understanding about homeowners' concerns, and the items that were under consideration were fences, hedges, and sprinkler systems. Okay. And obviously, we were concerned that it would deteriorate if we had to start moving hedges. It would detract from our own properties. Mike reassured us that the contractor and he and his team would do all in their power to ensure that they did as minimal damage to owners' properties as possible. The one thing I found that I had to do, and I have tall hedges, as Mike will attest, he said, no, they were fine. We were concerned about the 10-foot easement as to where the actual measurements were taken from. Again, Mike reassured us that the 10-foot was sort of it was an easement, but arbitrary. If you were sort of, if they thought they could get the equipment in, there'd be no need to move things. Sprinklers, the gentleman referred to, were the main barrier. I think most properties down that length of drainage would probably have to move their sprinkler systems. I found I have to move 4, and I have to move them about 5 or 6 feet back from where they're located now. But overall, I don't think homeowners should have any concerns about what the intention is and what we have to do to accommodate the contractors, because, as I say, I found Mike very accommodating himself. So I don't think there's any concerns on anybody's part. Thank you.
That's great to hear. He does a good job. Any others? No. Okay, let's close that. Any new business? Nope. Okay. At this point, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this landowners meeting. If I could have a... Motion to adjourn. We have a first. We have a second. Second. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate it.
Next year. Here. It's true. Probably have a comment section.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad I could help out.
Appreciate it.
How's it going?
Oh, you're making me forget my walk. Oh, my gosh. Is that your pen? No, that's it.
Very good, Mr. Raymond.
You're up next year.
Okay. Yeah, the district will put up the porches, and we, in order, there's going to be have to be a special assessment levy for the remaining. And basically, then he's going to do or he will assess that.
Just too much work. I think that guy's with the press. I'll give him a chance to say. Yeah, he's forget here. I presume he's going to leave. He can talk to him after.
That was the only area that we actually pulled them in college
The rest of we're still waiting on the sunrise. Sunrise, we haven't heard back.
Okay, bud, you've had a lot of time. I'll reconvene the regular board meeting. Supervisors, first thing on the agenda is the election of officers to the board. I'd like to open the nominations for president for the Board of Supervisors.
I'd like to nominate Mike Gilpin for the office of president.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other nominations?
Hey, Tanya, isn't there something about, like these two gentlemen not serving a complete term at this point, or can you explain that?
Yes.
The policy is that there's not supposed to be repeats in office, but since the President White was stepped in from being vice president to replace Mr. Miller, and when Mr. Miller resigned, and then Mr. Gilpin was elected as vice president, they only both served half-year terms. So, in my opinion, and having discussed it with Mr. McClure, we don't think there's any issue should they wish to, if there's a vote. That they could serve a full term as president and vice president.
All right, so basically what you're saying, that if everybody's comfortable doing the job they're doing, they can remain? Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, if there's a vote to that effect, that's correct.
All right. Well, I don't see any reason to change, but that's,
Do you want to make a motion, or do you want?
well, I'll make a motion that Mr. White remain president and Mike Gilpin remain vice president.
Is there a second to that?
Apparently not.
We need a call vote on the first motion.
Yeah, there's a standing motion and a second right now for Mike Gilpin to be elected president.
Okay.
Okay. We need to call the roll, I guess.
Supervisor Gilpin?
Yes.
He's going to.
You got to abstain.
Abstain.
My apologies.
You can't.
Can't vote for yourself.
Supervisor Camp?
Yes.
Supervisor Edgel?
Yes.
Supervisor McCullough?
Yes, I guess.
President White?
Yes. Mike, congratulations. I'll turn this over to you. These aren't your specs, maybe.
I think now we need a motion for vice president.
I'd like to nominate Wally.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
Okay, roll call.
Supervisor Camp?
Yes.
Supervisor McCullough?
Yes.
Supervisor White?
Yes.
President Gilpin?
Yes. And congratulations, Wally. Do we need nominations for treasurer and secretary? Okay.
Yes.
Need a nomination for treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Omar.
Need a
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call.
Supervisor Edgel?
Yes.
Supervisor McCullough?
Yes.
Supervisor White?
Yes.
Supervisor Camp?
Yes.
President Gilpin?
Yes. Need a nomination for a secretary.
I nominate Chrissy.
I second.
Supervisor Camp?
Yes.
Supervisor Edgel?
Yes.
Supervisor McCullough?
Yes.
Supervisor White?
Yes.
President Gilpin?
Yes. Okay. We have a resolution number 2017-01-2705, a resolution of the Sun and Lake of Sebring Improvement District to approve change order number 5 with E.O. Cook Construction Company for a decrease in the amount of $57,042.73 for the purchase of concrete products by the district for tax-saving purposes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Public comment?
Board comment first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Board comment first.
If nobody else got a comment, I got a comment. Mike, I want to thank you deeply for the work that you put into this to get a bid for the concrete. For those that do not know it, Mike, I think you got a bid for all the concrete, and currently it's $6 under the regular price. So thank you for that work, Mike.
So yeah, I want to give you guys an update. The total change order is for $57,042.73. That amount includes tax savings on the district of $3,979.73. It's a little bit different than the estimated quote that E.O. Cook provided because of the sales tax increase that occurred January 1st for the half-cent tax for the schools. As you note on the estimated quote, the quote was dated back as of August in 2016. Mike and myself visited with John at Concrete. They had informed that the price of concrete went up to $96 a square cubic yard. And they were hesitant, but they did honor the $91 a square cubic yard price, which is an additional $2,500 savings that we don't see on paper, but the district did save. We would have had to pay that extra cost if they wouldn't have honored the price.
Good job.
We expect 2 more change orders. This is only for Building A, the main building. Once we get the estimated square footage of the other 2 buildings, we'll go back to Yana and do the same process.
Thank you, Omar. Anything else? Okay, public comment. Joe? None? Okay. Any more public comment? Okay. Chrissy, roll call.
Supervisor Edgel?
Yes.
Supervisor McCullough?
Yes.
Supervisor Camp?
Yes.
Supervisor White?
Yes.
President Gilpin?
Yes. Add-on items,
None? No, sir.
petitions, and communications.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Yes, we have 2.
You might ask if James Jones is in the audience. He's there.
I'd have to-
Ask if James Jones is in the audience.
Okay.
Let him explain it if he is.
Jim, you're out there. Could you come up and explain your petition? Jim Jones? Yes.
No. The other one, I don't think I'd read it. I just
My name is Jim Jones. I'm a resident here of Sun Lake, and I'm also pickleball member and co-captain of the Sun Lake Pickleball League.
My name's Ross Miles. I'm the captain of the league.
Guys, you
I'm not
speak
a-
a little louder if you can into the mic.
I'm not a resident.
Okay, what we are requesting in our letter is that relief from charging outside, the fees to outside players that will be playing in 3 of our travel league events that are supposed to be hosted by Sun and Lake. We expect approximately 10 players coming in on each of the 3 events, and that we're asking the waiver of the $5 fee per person, which would amount to about $50 per event, $150 total for the three events in February. We travel to other South Florida locations to compete and represent Sun and Lake as a travel team, and we are not requested to pay any fees at any of these locations. Some of the other leagues have already stated their objection to having to pay these fees when they have to come here to Sun and Lake. We feel that these tournaments and events are an excellent opportunity for Sun and Lake to receive positive publicity, not only for the Racket Club, but the whole Sun and Lake area. These tournaments receive broad newspaper coverage, including pictures after each match, both here and away in our other locations. We feel this exposure alone outweighs the fees that would be collected from outside players for these 3 hosted events. If fees were to be charged, there would probably be added cost for Sun and Lake for staffing and collection of these fees because most of these events will be held on Saturdays. The events that we're hosting would only require the use of 4 courts out of the 8. The other 4 courts would be available for members and their guests during these events. If I can, that's our initial request. But pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports in the United States right now. And I feel Sun and Lake has an opportunity to get involved in and make Sun and Lake be representative by a good pickleball league and where people want to come here and play. I think it's an opportunity to expand the way they run Sun and Lake runs their tournaments now. It's mostly for members only, although it's supposed to be open for outsiders. But most tournaments are a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It'd be a good opportunity for marketing to have these events here. I think we lost 2 of our pickleball members last year that moved to the villages because of the play and the advanced play and competition that they would have at that location. I would like to see Sun and Lake get that reputation too, where people want to start moving in here and being members and playing at Sun and Lake. You have a community services director. I think if the board would give them the opportunity to run these events and not worry about the fees, if they schedule the people that can play on the courts, I think it would be a good opportunity for them so that we don't have to come here to the board each time. Give them the opportunity to say it's yay or okay to host these events. And it's not like we're asking for other communities to come in and play anytime they want. It's only on reciprocal events where it would help the reputation of the whole Sun and Lake.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Board discussion?
Yeah,
Any questions?
no, we might, but thank you. You can take a seat, and if we have one, we'll call you back.
Well, personally, I think it's a great promotional item or contest, whatever you want to call it. And I think not only should we not charge them anything, but also open up that particular day as an open court day. So spectators can come, everybody can come and play for free that day, whether they're in the tournament or not. So just again, promote Sun and Lake as a destination for great amenities. So, but charging $50 is it's just ridiculous, I think.
I wouldn't have a problem with that comment, Kurt. I talked to Tennille, and we now have 300 members of the pickleball tennis courts. I think that's outstanding, and that $50 is just a pretty cheap advertising fee.
I totally agree with that. I think that we're going to do just what Kurt was saying and do the best we can to help you guys improve your league and our team, whatever you need. So I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I'm full support of it too, so, I mean, it's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. Just
Me
grant
too.
it.
We don't need a vote on that, do we?
No, that can be by, consensus and just, Tennille's the director, she can handle that.
Okay.
Thank you, Supervisors. The second petition or communication that we received was from Don Jamel and Lori Monroe. They wanted to provide some information to you about that they support the PGA Latino qualifying tournament. They are new residents here to the district, and they were fortunate enough to host a terrific young man trying to earn a spot on the tour. And they were also fortunate to spend a considerable amount of time following these young men throughout their rounds and enjoyed watching them pursue their dreams. So this is just a letter from them to you. They're just mentioning their support for that event.
Very good. Maybe they can host a Canadian here pretty quick. Is Don here by chance? Okay. I didn't think I see him out there. Staff reports.
I guess I'll go first. Wanted to give you guys an update of some of the things going on in the finance department. First is the security truck has been purchased. The board approved the purchase through Bill Jarrett Ford at $26,000. We originally budgeted $32,000. We gave the board some options as far as the Explorers that we had on hand. We estimated that the NADA Blue Book value was about $2,400 for each one. We ended up getting $6,000 for both, so $3,500 on one and $2,500 on the other, which was significant. We only ended up paying about $20,000 for the security truck, so $12,000 in the budget. Next is the kitchen RFP. As you guys know, we held the RFP bid for the kitchen architect on January 17th. We received no bids. This was disappointing as the finance department took the initiative we emailed 6 firms and put it on the government website bid. Didn't receive anything. We reached out to some of them and got some explanations. 2 of the 6 that we emailed have provided proposals. I actually have 8 proposals on my desk now. The finance department, with some of the help of some other staff, are going to rank those 8 proposals, and we hope to bring it back at the next board meeting for the board to review and decide. The roof RFPs, we're still working on it. We've talked to the structural engineer at Scosta Corp., which he's the only structural engineer in town. He's provided a cost-effective option. Instead of putting the small peak up top, he's proposed a split pitch roof, which he deems is going to be the most cost-effective and alter the look of the roof now. We expect to have those drawings in about 2 weeks, and our deadline for having the bid come back is March 7th. So about a month from now, we should have a bid back to you guys for you guys to vote on the roof. And then last is the finance department has taken the initiative to organize and create some type of sales program for the land that the district owns. We have 2 contracts now pending. We expect 2 more on some of the commercial lots. The aggregate amount of the land sales that we've received so far is about $100,000 on about 8 different lots. So as those come through, we'll continue to keep you guys updated. And if anyone's interested, you can look on our website. We have them listed under the property sections with prices. You can call me if you have any questions.
Thank you. Anybody else with staff reports?
I got a question for Tenio.
Yep.
I was looking on the website and I noticed that our recreational fees say resident and non-resident. Does that mean if you own property here, you're a landowner, you're considered a non-resident if you don't live here? Is that what you're saying?
No, anybody who owns property, regardless if there's a house or what have you on it, it's considered a resident.
Okay. Maybe I ought to change the terminology. Again, I can't tell you what to do, but Tanya, why don't you consider changing that to landowner or a different, because to me, resident means you're living here. But if you own a vacant lot, you're considered a resident. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So just check it out. See if it'd be more clear.
Will do.
General counsel report.
All right, gentlemen, as you're aware, the Griffin lawsuit is moving along. The court entered an order temporarily reinstating Mr. Griffin. We have our counsel, Brian Koji, has appealed that decision and requested a stay pending the outcome of that appeal. We'll be finding out where that's going to be going here shortly, I would imagine. Additionally, we are currently scheduled for our second mediation, this time in front of an administrative law judge. That's going to happen on February 14th. I understand that there may be a conflict with PRM having a representative there, so that date may change, but as it stands right now, we're ordered to mediation on February 14th. The Ayala matter there's been no movement as it stands right now. However, it has been set for a case management conference on March 1st. So if nothing happens before March 1st, something will happen definitely by March 1st. We don't know what that will be, but we'll be in front of Judge Radin and explain to him the situation, and hopefully we can get it moving forward on or before March 1st. Regarding the architectural bid issue that Omar just brought up, the fact that we received no bids, bidding projects is expensive, or it takes time and money for the district to prepare those bids. So as it stands right now, I don't foresee an issue with the process that we're going now, undertaking now to receive proposals. I'm going to do a little bit of research to confirm that that's not an issue, but we did bid the project, received no bids, and so I think moving forward and requesting proposals is a proper method to hopefully get some answers.
I have a question on the Griffin appeal. Is that an interlocutory appeal to the U.S. District Court of Appeals?
I believe actually the appeal is going before the motion for the stay is in front of the same judge that entered the temporary reinstatement. So the chances of that getting granted are probably slim. I honestly don't know where which appellate court it went to. I can check that, find that out, but.
I'd just be interested if it come out of that judge's hands, a district judge, and goes to the U.S. Court of Appeals. What's this, 10th Circuit, Miami?
We're in the 10th Circuit is where we are.
And in Miami, you go there.
I believe so.
Yeah, to a panel. Okay. That's.
Any other comment?
None.
General Manager's report.
Yes, I have a couple of items. First, Mr. Ron Hanley, our county commissioner, is here today, and I wanted to see if he has any information for us or updates. If not, that's okay.
Thank you. Is this on?
Yes.
Really, I don't have much to report other than that we do finally have a finished set of drawings for our new EMS fire station here in Sun and Lakes. That is now in legal, just looking over the contract documents before we send it out for bids. I would guess that's probably ready to go out to bid within the next month. Take probably a month to get the bids back in, another month the way the county moves to get it awarded. And I'm not going to promise you, but I'm almost promising you we'll have a building by the end of the year. So that's the big progress out here from the county's standpoint. Other than that, I don't have anything else to report. If anybody has any questions of me, I'll try to answer them, but that's really all I have this morning.
We have received a lot of questions. Oh, I'm sorry. We have received a lot of questions regarding the new recycling program, and we've had phone calls from our, condominiums on Edgewater, Matanzas. What are we going to do with all of our trash can bins? So we'll be working with the contact, and I know Tennille is going to help us with that, and Bob Brumfield looking into that for our residents here who are in condominiums and townhomes.
Okay.
Yeah, each of those will be, I think those will be worked out with the carrier individually per condominium unit, I think, is how that's planned to be done. The recycling is for the single-family residents at this time. And
yes,
then any of the commercial, they call those a commercial account, so they're going to work that out with the different units.
Okay.
The way I understand it.
Okay.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Gene Dan Jimmy, do you have any space in the new EMS fire station for the sheriff's office or sheriff's? Is that going to be included in there?
Yes, it's really just a place for the sheriff's deputy to park and a place to sit down and do his paperwork. As far as, they're not going to house any sheriff's deputy there, but there is a plan for him to take or whoever they.
Similar to what we have at the district office, right?
I think so. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I'm going to come up close.
Okay. I want you right here close.
Yeah, Joack, as you know, I've been against that thing there on Sun and Lake Boulevard ever since y'all put it there.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing of it is, who's going to block the traffic while they're doing construction out there? And how are you going to get around school kids going in and out? And you all never even thought about any traffic whenever you do get set up there, because the frontage roads there and the hospitals, the way they got to go in and out. And the place there, I still say it's no place for it there.
They're not going to go in and out of the hospital. There's going to be a curb cut out in the median, and they're going to pull right out onto Sun Lakes Boulevard.
Another blockage is what it's going to amount to be. I don't think you commissioners up there used your head at all. And I recommended putting it on the north end of town down there, across from the Wild Turkey, because there was plenty of room there to expand down there, and y'all just ignored it. And I don't think too much of it be doing it. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your opinion. Anybody else? Okay, well, thank you.
Welcome to Sun Lake.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Anything else, Tanya?
Just a couple of things I want to update you on. The main pump station on Turtle Run we're hoping to be repaired by the end of the day. You know, the pump station there has been down for approximately 4, maybe 5 weeks. And so we're hoping that will be completed today. Second, I'd like to just let you know that I have worked in agreement with the lot owner on Orduna. Orduna, the one lot is the lot that I was waiting on so we can move forward with the Cortez Road extension to Schumacher. So I will be bringing that agreement to you at the next board meeting.
Very good. Unfinished business?
None.
New business?
None.
Committee reports?
No reports.
Okay. Public comment?
Charles Brown, Pebble Beach Drive. It's more of a thank you to Mike Hurley. The other day we had a very dangerous situation on Deer Run with a palm tree on the third hole. It's been there for a few days. I called him up, and within probably hours, someone in the office went over there and took care of it. Thank you very much, Mike. And the second thing is, I think we should instruct the people that work on the golf course, when they see a dangerous situation, to report it so it can be taken care of. My second thing is, in and out of the clubhouse area, the streets, there has to be an arrow. Way too many cars are going, and golf carts going down the left side to go into the recycle. I almost got hit the other day coming out with my golf cart. So that's just something to think of. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Joe Ike again, like I told you before, I only come when I got something to say. But the thing of it is, I understand that I'm going to finally, after 4 years, going to get my street lights put in Unit 2. According to one of the ladies told me that Duke Energy's been awarded the contract, they're putting it in there, and they've been paid for it already, but you haven't been able to get them out to do it.
That's correct. We have paid for the streetlights, yes.
The Utility Commission in the state, Tallahassee, controls them. And if they're dragging their feet, all you got to do is call them. I filed a complaint against Duke Energy here just a couple weeks ago. They're trying to raise the days of pay on all of your electric bills from 32 days to 35 days. I got a hold of Janice Grimsley. She called them. I got a hold of Pegman, but he never did do anything. So as far as I'm concerned, when he runs again, he's out. And I also got a hold of Rooney. Rooney's office called me and told me that they went down on them. And they have evidently changed it back to the 32 days. So now you all better watch your electric bill, because you may wind up with 35 days in a month. But anyway, that's the reason why I came here today. Not this other stuff that I've been coming back and forth. I'm glad I was here for it, though. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, discussion to and from the board.
Yeah, I've got a couple things. One is, I was wanting to ask Jim about the, because I've asked about it all the time, about the water over on number 14, between 14 and 15 to Deer, still isn't working. What is that?
Duke Energy.
I thought it was Duke. I've heard that story.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still Duke, Wally. We probably make 1 or 2 calls a week on that. We have an electrician. He's put in for the permits and everything. It's Duke that holds us up. They're absolutely the worst company that I've ever worked with. I mean, we're trying, well, except for put our own extension cord out there, we can't do anything.
What does Duke have to do?
They have to bring a line in right to the bathroom because there's no power out there at all. And that's them, it's not us.
They're the only ones that can put the power there.
Yeah.
And the meter.
I understand that. I just wanted to know because I get asked about it every time I go by there.
So do we.
Sitting there and someone's
All the
already,
time, Wally.
Put a big dent in it. I'm sitting there. Okay, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
The only other thing.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Ron, you get.
If I may, just so everybody feels better, the county has the same issue. It's not this other way, so don't feel like.
Okay.
I agree with Mike. Very for even wait 2 years.
Okay. We been holding marketing meetings, and I think Tanya's got this on, and Tanil's got this on a roll now.
Put the mic
up.
Okay. Is that thing even on? The marketing, we've been having meetings. I had a meeting the other day, and we had Ron Wonderling there, and Shane, what was his last name?
Shane Sharp.
Sharp, and his company and so forth. And Tenille and Tanya have this moving now. We're getting to the point where we can start making some decisions pretty good about marketing and how to move this along. And it's very important. We've worked with the county, and we're working with the company now to try to get some of these lots open and trying to get some of them sold and get people start moving in here. We've got some construction going on. We got, Omar mentioned, we got 2 lots sold already. So we got it moving. It could go faster, but there's just certain things we're waiting on, and that's to get these lots freed up so we can sell them and so forth. And that brings me back to one question. What was going on over on the lot behind number 1, 1 Green on Deer? I saw someone in there working.
You mean where you cross the road? From 1 to 2, Wally?
Yeah, between 1 and 2.
It was a safety hazard. When people were coming out, it was growing too far out. So what we did was, I had a lot of complaints about people couldn't see.
Yeah.
So we went in there and cut part of it back.
Okay, I was just hoping that was the landowner in there starting to do some work.
We were going to start the building, yeah.
But that landowner lives in California, so who knows?
Yep.
But that's on the marketing aspect. On the, and I'll have to ask Tenille to get to on these numbers. Because I'm getting phone calls myself, and people always stop me about the RV and trailer deal that we're working on. It was advertised, and how many results did you get? People said they wanted.
Between calls and the surveys and the newsletter, I've gotten 15 people to respond and say yes.
Okay. Well, you can see what that's doing. My initial thought was going to be start out with 5 or 6, and it's up to 15 now. And some of the people have called me that haven't called you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to, because they know that I'm trying to push that to get it.
And with that new survey that went out, that has really sparked more, it's easier for them to respond versus, calling or sending an email. So they'll go on and do the survey, and I'm counting those as well.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, my next move will be, Mike, to get with you. Mm-hmm. And so we can offer something to the board and get, because the needs assessment seems to show, obviously, that people want it. So we're going to move on that. But I'd like to thank Tennille on that. She's the one that took the lead on that to get those people in. And so we're working on that. So that's where we're at on those projects.
Very good. Mark?
No comment?
Yeah, I got one thing. As everybody knows, the county owns around 1,200 buildable lots in here, and it's growing weekly. My concern is, what is our square footage building minimum for a new home for the district? Do we know what that is?
Actually, with the deal that Tanya had talked about with Mr. Rogers, there's some lots we're doing what's called a title search on. We should have those back. They may be in my office when I get back today. If not, we'll definitely have them by next week. And I'm going to review to find out if there's any district-wide issues as far as the minimum house size. And so I should be able to have an answer for that, as well as any other, district-wide restrictions. And I'll bring those to your attention in the next meeting.
Okay, good. Because I don't think this community wants a bunch of 1,000-square-foot homes built. At least that's my opinion anyway. I know Deer Run Association has a minimum of 1,600 feet off the golf course and 2,000 feet on the golf course under air. So to me, that's more of a size of home we want built in here versus something around 1,000 square feet or whatever, so.
And we've had some inquiries, to let you know, and these inquiries are coming from builders of tiny homes or pod homes, I think is what they've called them, and also a home on stilts. I've heard all kind of pole homes.
Okay.
So we've heard all kinds of things recently. I think after Christmas, we have taken more phone calls than we could possibly imagine between land for sale and so we're seeing some movement. I mean, just questions about building and square footage.
So you're going to also check out any other restrictions that we might have as well?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Get somebody back there with her. I don't have anything.
Go ahead, sir.
My question pertains to the HO for Deer Run. A while back.
Sir, would you go over here, please?
Tony Felice, 4564 Myrtle Beach Drive. About a year and a half ago, if my memory serves me, the Deer Run Homeowners Association passed a petition that the homeowners guidelines would apply to all the vacant lots. And that was submitted, and I've never heard anything back on that. We did a survey that was mailed out to all our members regarding the fact that we had been asked by Sun and Lakes to utilize our homeowners guidelines for the empty lots, and that all that property would become part of the Deer Run Homeowners Association as far as the guidelines go. Now, I've never heard another word about it. So is that in effect? Has it ever been approved? Where are we?
I think that applied to, 200 or 300 lots. It wasn't community-wide, but.
362, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I think probably Dave can probably answer that better. I think it pertained to a certain group of lots.
I recall what you're talking about. I'll have to go back and research to find out if it was an actual adoption by resolution. I'll have an answer for you.
It was adopted or not adopted?
It was. I'll get that resolution for you.
All right, thank you.
I think that went through.
It did.
But it doesn't apply to the whole community. Just those lots.
I think that's one of the first.
Anything, Larry?
Nope, I don't have a thing.
Oh, Wally, you got something else?
Well, I just wanted to add one thing. I've only been on the board a year now, not quite a year, and Larry White's been the president since I've been here. And every time I've ever gone to him for anything, he's always had the answers. He's always told me where to go, what to do, and everything like that. And I just want to thank you for what you've done. I think everybody owes you a thank you for sitting in this chair right here is tough. It's tough. It all ends there. All these complaints that you hear when you went after playing golf, it all ends right there. And he did a great job as president for a year here.
Thank you, Wally. Mike? you're in for a few sleepless nights, I'm going to tell you that. But I think you'll do a good job. And I thank you very much for all the help that I've got from not only the board, but from all the staff. They've done a wonderful job. Thank you very much.
I only have two things, and one was Larry, and Wally just took care of that. So thank you again, Larry. I guess this is Mike Hurley Day, but I wanted to thank Mike. I asked him after hole number 1 on deer, and you're going to 2. There's some of them empty lots. I must have had 30 people ask me to over the last year to cut that corner, and I asked Mike, and it was done in a week. So, Mike, I'm glad you're getting the time to do some of these things that keeps people off our butt. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Is there anything else? Okay. Board adjourned.
Hell, I can sleep tonight. Might be a record. You're not going to believe how many nights you're up.
Thank you.
Give me a little hit.